Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Una transmisión más aquí desde el estudio de teletica.com. Les saluda Adrián Fallas y vamos a estar hablando hoy acerca de Nitro Circus, el evento que se va a estar llevando a cabo el próximo 27 de enero aquí en el Estadio Nacional, que va a tener lo mejor del FMX, que es piruetas en motocicleta, lo mejor del BMX Freestyle, patinetas, scooters y además cuadraciclos. Y para hablar acerca de esta gran actividad tenemos nada más y nada menos acompañándonos en este momento en línea el señor Travis Pastrana. Travis Pastrana es la mente detrás de todo lo que vamos a poder estar disfrutando este 27 de enero en el Estadio Nacional y vamos a estar hablando con él. Hi Travis, how are you doing?
Doing very well. Yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. So Travis, 20 years of Nitro Circus, excuse me. Do you ever thought you were going to be celebrating 20 years?
No, absolutely not. As crazy as all the shenanigans have gone, and to be able to travel around the world with our best friends and continually upping the level and getting more and more new riders and new athletes and even new sports. I mean, scootering is something that wasn't even invented, basically, or at least it wasn't a sport when we started. And now some of our best athletes, like R. Willie, came from scooter riders. So really excited to just have a lot of fun. And this 20 years, we have the best of the old school, like myself, pretty old for action sports, and the best of the new school. It's going to be an amazing show.
Okay. And can you explain to us how important it is for you guys to be able to come to Central America and making us part of this big party that's going to go down on January 27th?
Well, some of the best times we've ever had filming for Nitro Circus have been in Arenal, up in the mountains has been so amazing. And then we went down to Jaco and had amazing times surfing and riding motorcycles and zip lines. And the culture is really, really great. It's a lot like, which is probably our best kind of market, and the people that understand us the most is like Australia and New Zealand. So we've always wanted to come down. So for this 20-year anniversary, we've got the best show we've ever had. We've got the best crew we've ever had, and we're ready to go big.
Got it. And for all the people that are, I don't know, on the fence right now, debating whether or not they should be on the Estadio Nacional on the 27th, what can you tell them they're going to see? What is it that is a must-see on the show that you guys have prepared for us on this 20th anniversary?
The whole show is a must-see, to be perfectly honest. And the height, you just can't grasp. Everyone says you have to see it to believe it. Nitro Circus is a show that you truly do have to see in person. When you're looking up at guys on scooters and couches and contraptions and dirt bikes flying, 50, 60 feet off of the ground, 6, 7 stories in the air, trying stuff that's never been done before. Everyone's really pumped to send their new stuff. But it's not just about the tricks or the action sports. It's a show. The music, the excitement, the energy and the passion is something that it's going to, I think, especially with, kind of the Central America, Costa Ricans, the excitement that you all have for life and the passion that you have for just wanting to see exciting things. I think this is going to be the best show that we've ever done.
Okay, your career goes way beyond the 20 years of Nitro Circus, and you've always been part of this extreme sport environment. What has changed in these years? What is it that people are craving more and more extreme sports right now?
Well, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, everything kind of stopped. And, for 2-3 years, unfortunately, we haven't had a place to shine and to really go. So everybody is hungry. Everybody, all the riders are excited. They all know what they've missed. And they said, you know what? This is the best time of my life. I'm going to absolutely send it. I'm going to go out and high five every kid. I'm going to sign every autograph. I'm going to make sure that everyone's experience is the best it can be, because this is the most fun life that I've ever dreamed of. And we're going to try to make that for everybody that attends the show.
All right. And can you tell us the names? Because it's not only you, because you are the face of this franchise, but what are the names? Because you're bringing some of the best FMX guys, some of the best BMX freestyle guys, skaters, scooters. Can you tell us about the names?
You know, Ryan Williams, he goes by R. Willie, is potentially the greatest action sports athlete of all time. He was a YouTuber. He's a scooter rider. Everyone kind of made fun of him. They're like, oh, he rides scooters. And then he went on to be the greatest all-time big air BMX rider at the X Games. This is a rider that is truly an inspiration. He's the first rider signing every autograph, the last rider to leave every night, making sure that everyone feels like they're a part of it and get to meet him. You got Harry Bink, who's an amazing up-and-comer for motocross. He's one of only 3 riders to ever do a triple backflip. There's, you got Aaron Wheels Fotheringham that was born with spinal bifida that is coming down to do tricks that have never even been attempted and started his own sport. And he calls it WMX, wheelchair motocross. He's such an inspiration. You have Bruce Cook, also who's paralyzed, doing double front flip. He's going to be back on this show in Costa Rica, first time in 5 years that he's ridden a motorcycle, and just excited to be back. Or I shouldn't say 5 years, maybe 3 since before COVID. But he's coming back to ride for the crowd. Josh Sheehan, who you see there doing a triple backflip, he'll be there. He's the first rider to ever do a triple backflip. You got Jackson Strong. This guy, he's just absolute sender from Australia. The list goes on and on. The best in the world will be there, sending stuff they've never tried before. Beaver Fleming is an amazing skateboarder. My wife will actually be skating as well, so you get a Pastrana out there to hopefully cheer on.
That would be really cool. Can you explain to us how important is to have Marco Picado here in Costa Rica and be able to be the link between our country and you guys to be able to have this show?
Michael Picado is so excited to have him on for the show, and to be able to, we talk a lot through the show, and he's going to be the one that's going to have to do a lot of the narrating to explain the passion, the excitement, and kind of that link. There's Javier. There's quite a few of us that are the athletes that do speak Spanish, and that will be able to translate and really show from a rider's perspective, because this show, it's choreographed to a certain extent, but as the crowd gets excited, as the energy comes up in the stadium, as one of your friends lands something they've never landed before, it inspires all of us to go bigger. So there's a lot of bobbing and weaving through this show to make it the best that we've ever done, and a lot of that will have to be translated, and to have a rider down there that's a top rider, that's going to be so great.
Okay, Travis, I would like to ask you a couple of questions about your career and the legacy that you have built throughout these years. So basically, you've done everything, everything you can imagine. And right now you're 40 years old, right?
40 years old, yes, sir.
Okay, young 40 years old. So what's your next step in your career? Where do you see going on from this point forward?
My goal is to continue to build Nitro Circus, to build a platform where the next generation of athletes from anywhere in the world, from from no matter where you started from, if you are the best at what you do, I don't care if it's a pogo stick or a scooter or a dirt bike or a BMX bike, if you want to travel the world with the best athletes, where you have a chance to learn in the safest environment possible, to go entertain hundreds of thousands of people around the world and get to experience things that, as someone that was brought up, in a kind of the environment that I was brought up, I would never have a chance to travel like this if it wasn't for dirt bikes. And hopefully to give that experience and that opportunity for the next generation from all over the world.
Got it. For example, I was thinking about this in the morning when I was coming home to work, and I was thinking about, for example, Tony Hawk's 900. That was a game changer in skateboarding, in bird skateboarding, for example. I also thought about Matt Hoffman the first time he did a backflip on a ramp. What is the next step in motocross? What's the next trick that's going to make the world say these guys are just insane and they are just taking down every rider possible?
We look towards the up-and-coming riders like Axel Hodges that are starting to do wheelies into backflips and nose manuals where they land on the front tire and kind of just make it so much more technical. And then you look at riders like J.O. Archer and Harry Bink that are going higher and bigger. These ramps, we're going so high. That's why I'm so excited to come to Costa Rica, where we can actually set the biggest ramps that we've ever put in a show because your roof is that much higher. We normally can't set these in stadiums. We can't set these in arenas because we're going 70, 80 feet, 7 stories off the ground. So excited to come down to Costa Rica, where the stadium and the crowd, everything is going to be bigger than life. And that's the next step for us, is to continue going to bigger and bigger arenas where we can go higher and further than ever before.
And if you look back 20 years ago when you guys started Nitro Circus, and you're talking about the ramps that you're going to use this time around, can you explain to people without seeing it how different they are, how bigger they are meant to be?
So without seeing it, you truly can't understand what it's like to see a person literally 7 stories in the air, and you see these huge roll-ins and you're just, it's something that a lot of adults are like, oh, we'll take our kids to see this show, and they leave the ones that are even as excited as the kids are at just the height and the magnitude and the risk factor that all of these athletes go through time and time again to do stuff that's never been done. And that is the passion that really drives Nitro Circus.
Okay, and this is something that I usually ask to extreme sport guys like you. If there's a father seeing this right now, and his son wants to ride a scooter, wants to ride a motorbike, wants to do some skateboarding, but the father says, I don't know, I'm not sure about that. What would you tell him?
Well, it definitely comes with risk, but it gets all of my friends, for myself, we didn't do very well with team sports. We love to be out there to push ourselves, to learn kind of ourselves. And now you can go to the Olympics. You can represent your country riding a skateboard or a snowboard or a BMX bike. And for me, it's given me an opportunity to travel the world with some of the most passionate human beings. And it's, at the very least, a really great way for me as a father now to hang out with my 2 daughters. It's a great way that I have always been had a great relationship with both of my parents, because my mom rode motorcycles, my dad rode motorcycles. It's what we did on the weekends, and it was a way that we stayed really close all through my teenage years, and still to today. So I think as a father, if your child, or as a mother or father, if your son or daughter wants to get into action sports, it's a great opportunity to be a big part of their lives.
Okay, Travis, I have a couple more questions for you. First, I wanted to ask you about Ernesto Lobito Fonseca. You competed against him. Do you have any memories about competing against him, going one-on-one on Supercross?
Ernesto Fonseca. When I think I was 11 years old, and Ernesto came to live with us in a trailer park in Florida to ride with some of the best riders in the world in that area. It was a long way from my house. And a long way from his house. And we've been friends and rivals ever since. He won his first championship when he was, 16, or he might have just turned 17, here in the U.S. And then when I was 16, I went on to win that championship against Ernesto. So we've had some great battles, great rivalries. Unfortunately, he did have a really big injury. So I'm excited, hopefully, to see Ernesto down here at this event, and definitely we'll reach out and hopefully spend some more good times together in the future.
Got it. Last question. I would like for you to invite people to go to Nitro Circus, the 20th anniversary show, January 27th in el Estadio Nacional here in Costa Rica. So just go ahead.
You do not want to miss Nitro Circus, the greatest action sports athletes in the world. A lot of fun for the entire family. It doesn't matter if you like action sports or you've never heard of it, you will have a good time. I will see you there, and it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Thank you very much, Travis. Pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Y ahí lo tenemos. Bueno, gente, ya lo saben, este 27 de enero en el Estadio Nacional, Nitro Circus, el 20 aniversario de este show gigante de deportes extremos que vamos a poder observar aquí en el país. Las entradas están en la venta en passline.com y manténganse informados acerca de todo lo que tiene que ver con este evento y todo lo que tiene que ver con el acontecer nacional e internacional en teletica.com y nuestras redes sociales. Hasta luego.